This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, miniatures, and paints, discount prices at miniaturemarket.com.
The Kingdom of East Anglia saw the birth of their greatest son, an Anglo-Saxon warrior destined to be a champion for the ages and a national treasure for all time.
Everybody, today we're going to count down the top 10 Dungeons and Dragons movies that make you want to play Dungeons and Dragons. And there's a bunch of them here that really sucked me in when I was a kid, or younger, let's put it that way. Younger. So at number 10 is, I love this movie. It's a cult movie, and people really enjoy it. It's one of those movies that I just sucks me right in. And then, of course, I start thinking about breaking out all my D&D stuff, and that's Beastmaster. Now, Beastmaster is a fantastic movie. The lead actor, singer, was fantastic in V. I actually have his autograph somewhere. I actually took a photo with him. He's a tall dude too, but he was just absolutely fantastic in this, and it is a fantastic thing. Number 9 is Crawl. Now, yeah, it has a little sci-fi. It's more sci-fi, but boy, that weapon that he had was just so doggone cool. The movie wasn't the greatest, and that's why it kind of sits here at number 9. I do get jacked up when I see it. It's just, the kid in me that just doesn't leave. And Crawl is definitely at number 9. At number 8, this one, I don't think it did very well at the box office, but it is another cult movie, and that's Willow. Willow was done very, very well. I think the reason it sits at number 8, I'm not a Val Kilmer fan. No offense, Val, but you're just not a fantasy guy. A great actor, though. Better Batman. Let's leave it at that. But definitely at number 8. Number 7, this is where you really start to get into the whole impossible voyages and so forth and so on. And with the Golden Voyage of Sinbad, when they were fighting those skeletons and everything to get the Golden Fleece, all the trials and tribulations, just a fantastic adventure. Ray Harryhausen, master of all things, just one of my favorite movies, and to this day I go back and watch it quite a bit. At number 6, well, right in the same vein of it, is Jason and the Argonauts, the original one. Because again, here we go with with just some epic battles, special effects far ahead of its time with Ray Harryhausen, and I was just completely sucked in on this just massive adventure. At number 5 is a movie that, something, Antonio Banderas or something like that. I can never say his last name. The 13th Warrior is probably the best movie he ever did. Even though he was awesome as Zorro and a lot of things, the 13th Warrior was just cool. Just trying to hang with all these Viking dudes as they go on this dungeon crawl through this dungeon of these people that are just eating humans and they think are mystical in some way, and just battle it out. And then the king, who was just glorious, and if you haven't seen the movie, I really highly suggest you check this one out. 13th Warrior is a hidden gem, and a great one at that. At number 4, I think, is what a lot of people think I would have had at number 1, but it isn't. And that's Lord of the Rings. The ultimate Dungeons and Dragons movies for a lot of people. And understandably so, because it was Tolkien who basically kind of almost gave Gary Gygax the idea for everything that we do and play today. So the history here is just really deep. I love the movie. It's number 4. That speaks a lot. But there were just other movies as a young kid that just moved me more towards it. And we'll get to those. But a fantastic Dungeons and Dragons movie all in itself. Just marvelous. But a very huge and intricate tale for sure. Number 3, for me, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Conan the Destroyer. Not Conan the Destroyer, because I thought with Baba, which was Walt Chamberlain, the Princess, the Thief, the Magician, Grace Slick, who was just fantastic. You actually had a real party there. And this amazing adventure that they go on and the things they face, and Conan and Schwarzenegger just looking all barbarian and cool, and probably one of my favorite movies. Then again, if my wife was here, she'd say every movie's my favorite movie. At number 2 is one of the reasons why I forgive Tom Cruise for being Tom Cruise. Is this movie here, and that is Legend. Tim Curry as the devil, this boy who has to become this adventurer and go down to get the love of his life, who's been corrupt. The ultimate story of good and evil. Fantastic, wonderful. The elegance of the forest, and then the goblins, and this just screams Dungeons and Dragons all day long. A real hidden gem, and I really suggest this one. If you have not seen this, you need to. It is a must for all Dungeons and Dragons fans. At number 1 was a movie I saw in a drive-in, and then I saw about 1 billion times after that, and I will never forget seeing this dragon for the first time. For me, this was the ultimate Dungeons and Dragons movie, because it came out right at the height of it in the in the 80s. As a matter of fact, I think it came out in 1981, 82, somewhere in there. And right when Dungeons and Dragons was just at its strength and its full power, this movie comes out, and it's a Disney movie that tells a beautiful tale of fighting this dragon, and how if you do not make the sacrifices, the dragon was going to take this kingdom and torch it to no end, and how this magician basically got from point A to point B to do battle. And Dragon Slayer is a tremendous movie. Special effects far ahead of its time. When that dragon comes out of the cave for the first time and just raises its head, and you go, wow. And I was completely blown away. Now, there's a couple of things that are not on this list. Clash of the Titans, which is another fantastic epic movie, but I felt that was more of a Greek storytelling, not Dungeons and Dragons. And the original Dungeons and Dragons movie with Jeremy Irons was not good. If you had to put it on this list, you could, somewhere from 10 to 20. The second and third ones that came out were actually better, but I really like this list, and I think this list tells you a lot of things. There's some honorable mentions: Dark Dungeon, Dungeons and Dragons, like we did, Wrath of the Dragon, D&D. But I think this list, for me, my opinion, is the list. Now, what's yours? Maybe you disagree. All I can tell you is go down in the comments. Let me know what you think. I always love hearing from you and hearing your thoughts. And sometimes you guys pick things that I probably should have had on the list. But it's good to just give everybody ideas to go watch and get your Dungeons and Dragons on. Until next time, it's your old pal Rob saying, we'll see you soon.